Hello, it's Trevor at GHD-repair.co.uk, and today we are going to look at the cable on the Mark V range of GHDs. The cable can often become damaged and it can be cut, nibbled by animals. We often see cat-chewed cables and rabbit-chewed cables. They can also fail internally, where this constant flexing happens either at the iron end or of course at the plug end. You can get similar constant flexing over the years and they will break internally. So we're just going to have a look at changing the cable. There are three types of Mark V iron. We have the MS5 with the very narrow plates, probably as thick as your finger, and that has a round end ring there. We have the normal Mark V that has the same round end ring as the MS5, and then we have the SS5. These are the wide plate Mark Vs, and they have a flattened end ring. All of these end rings can only go on one way, and I'll show you why in a moment. But let's take this Mark V pair of irons. Yes, they look a little different. This is because I had some nice parts and I've mixed and matched various parts to make up a good pair of irons. So we have a black Mark V arm matched with a gloss green, and we have a black ceramic plate and a pink one. Obviously it's already got a new cable on there and it's got new hinge covers, so it's all ready to be purchased and sent out to a customer. But let's talk about changing the mains cable. The first thing you need to do is to remove both hinge caps. What I use is a small spudger. This is commonly used for prizing electronic items like mobile phones and that sort of thing open, but you could use a small screwdriver with a very thin flat blade, but anything that you can slide between the hinge cover and the arms just into the middle there. It'll wiggle either side and you'll find that will lift off. Now there are two fragile pieces of plastic on this cover. Very often one of them, or sometimes both, will break and this cap will no longer clip back into place. If that happens, you can either purchase new ones. We sell brand new replacements without the GHD logo, obviously for copyright reasons, and or you can buy genuine used parts like this one, but very often the GHD logo will show signs of wear and tear, so you can replace them, or you can simply apply 2 dabs either side of the broken tab of super glue and just put it into place, hold it there for a few seconds, and the super glue will hold that in place. But fortunately with the super glue, the grip is not so strong that you won't be able to get these apart in the future. You can pop the caps off. So at this point that exposes the 2 screws, and I use 2 stubby screwdrivers. The irons then go between my knees and you can twist and undo the centre pin like this. Take out that, take out the washer. Do that 1,000 times again and it won't fall onto the screw like it just did. With a small screwdriver, just poke the pivot pin out like so. You can now lift these apart, and the only thing that's holding them together is the wires. Now at this point you might find it easier to remove the nylon bush and the metal spring. Make a note of which way round that spring goes. You will find the longer tab is facing down and forwards towards the switch. When I change the cables, I don't actually remove this. All I do is pull the wires up and the arm, and that exposes the hinge, the cable cover. Loosen the 2 screws, and on the standard Mark 5s that we're working on and the MS5s, you will find this round end ring will pop off on its own as you lift this cover off. I tend to put a fingernail just into the gap there at this end and just gently lift this up. You can see that coming up, and lift it free. The end ring will usually just pop off, as you can see. Put that to one side, lift the socket out, pull the old cable out and slide the end ring off. Now this end ring has a tiny little lug. Hopefully you can see it just there. And that little lug lines up with a part of the arm. If I just show you, you can just see there's a little cutout, and that's where that lug sits. So obviously this ring will only go one way round, and we'll show you the easiest way to fit that in a moment. Now if you just look at that socket, that is one of our replacement sockets. Normally, if your irons have never been worked on and they're original, you will see a socket with a clear plastic housing like that. It makes no difference. The process of changing the cable is exactly the same, but I'm just pointing out that you are more likely to see that than our black plastic replacement. So lift it out, you'll see the slots there. These slots just here are for the socket. The slots just here are for the cable, and you can see the rings on the cable that go into those sockets. You can't really mess this up, because if you do and you put them in the wrong place, you will not be able to get the cable clamp or cable cover back on. Also notice that there is a flat piece on the plastic, and that flat piece needs to go upright. The same on our black plastic replacement. You put it in with that flat part facing up. So get your new cable, apply some high voltage grease, just a tiny little bit, put the end ring over the cable and carefully pop that into the socket. You'll see that the socket and the cable have gone into their respective slots, and at that point you're ready to put the cover back on. If you let that go, it's very easy for it to pop up and become misaligned. If that socket turns slightly, there's no way it's all going back together again. So just lift it up, line it all up, and just hold it in place gently. That has gone over perfectly. We would now tighten the screws. Do not over tighten these. If you over tighten and strip the plastic, you will find that this cover can be pulled off quite easily, and it then becomes a danger because you can expose the socket and cable, and the cable can pull out, and obviously if it's plugged in you have live connections available at the end of this cable. So do not over tighten those screws. Now, as I said earlier, there is a cutout just in there and a little protruding piece just there on the end ring. And what you can do is just line it up and spin it round, and you'll find that it will click into place like so once that lug has gone into the cutout, the recessed part. If you get it wrong, you'll find that this won't line up properly. There'll be a gap. couple of things with these end rings are not fragile, but customers do break them because they've pulled this off without realizing that this end ring has to come off as well. And sometimes the end ring can get caught and jammed, and this is hard to pull off after you've removed the screws. If you do split this, again, you can replace it. We do keep the gold one listed on our website, but we also keep other colours in stock from scrapped GHDs. So if you need an unusual colour like this one, this is a silver chromed finish, we just contact us through the website and we'll check our stock. We have various colours available in various conditions. They obviously get scratched quite easily, so we've got a lot of them where some of the paint has been damaged, but it's quite nice to have that on there. It just finishes that end of the irons off quite nicely. As I say, if you have split it, some people have broken them completely in half. They have two pieces. If you again use super glue, just a little dab of glue at each end of the broken piece, make sure that the indentation lines up with the little lug on the lower piece, and just push them in and hold them in place while the super glue sets, literally 5 seconds, and you'll be good to go. Again, the super glue is not so powerful that you cannot remove this for a future cable change. Just removing the two screws and lifting this cover up will normally pop off the end ring, whether it's been super glued or not. Very often it will split where the join is anyway, so as you lift the cable cover off, if it has been broken in the past, you'll find the bottom half stays where it is and the top half comes out with the cable cover, so it really isn't an issue. So after changing the cable, don't forget the orientation of the spring. The longer piece needs to face towards the switch and facing down. You would push it in, line it up with the hole going through. At that stage you would grab the nylon bush and just feed it through so it goes in and through to the other side like that. Hold that piece in with your finger and make sure that doesn't fall out, obviously. Just hold that there and slide the top arm down, squeeze together, and you can see that that is operating normally. The holes have lined up, and then you would put this pin in, just give it a little wiggle and it will go through and out the other side, and then put the washer and screw back in place. Like that. The two screwdrivers again between the knees and just gently nip that up, and you are done. You have a new cable. As far as the plug is concerned, you will find the new cable is the 2-pin Euro connector. Let me show you. Comes like that. Your old cable may have had a moulded plug on the end. Now you've got two choices there. Obviously you cannot remove a moulded plug from the cable. You can either buy an adapter like this. Now this is very useful if you use your irons overseas, because you put the two pins into the adapter and you can use it in the UK. But if you open this up, you can simply remove that, and then you can use exactly the same cable in Europe. The alternative is to simply cut the two pins off and fit a standard UK plug. Either way is absolutely fine. We do sell the adapters on our website. We do not sell standard UK plugs, because you can buy those absolutely anywhere, obviously, and that's what you would do if you've chosen to go that way. All GHDs are going to be fine with a 3 amp fuse. 5 amp is okay, but a 3 amp fuse is preferable. Okay, so we will move away from that pair, and we'll now very briefly look at the MS. Exactly the same procedure. The hinge is the same, everything is the same at this end, it's only at this end where it gets thin and where it's different. So everything I've just discussed on how to remove the cable cover and the end ring applies to the MS5 version. Now, where it gets slightly different is with the SS5 arms. It's very much the same here, the only difference is this end ring. Now, this is much harder to get, well, it's not much harder, it is a different way of removing it. You'll find that if you try and prise this cover off now, it's very hard and it won't, it's loose, you can see there that it's coming adrift, but this is clamping it in place, and if I force this, it is going to flex this and it is going to crack and split this end ring. So the way to do that is either loosen the two screws or do this before you have, but get a blade and you will just tuck it in there and just ping that off like so, like that. You've got to be very careful that you put the blade in the correct place, because if you put it in the wrong place and prise, you are going to break the plastic of the arm. So it's got to go. I'm going to put this back in and do it again for you. Again, this only goes in one way and I'll show you why in a second. So it's pretty much where that scratch or mark is on the side there. It's not completely flat with the split in the arm and cable cover, it's just slightly above it. Just go in a slight angle and gently prise that off, and that will come free, and then you can lift the cover off after removing the screws. Now, there are two lugs on this particular end ring and two indentations. Hopefully you can see them in the end there, one there and one here, and if we look you will see hopefully the two little lugs sticking out there. Obviously you've got to get this the right way round, but because it's got flattened sides it's really easy. So you would tuck it in from the top, so in at the top, stretch it over and click at the bottom like that, and then you'll find it will click into place. If you've got it 180 degrees out, you are not going to be able to fit it. If it's broken, exactly the same can be done with the super glue. Just a little dab of glue on either side where it's split, and you can click it back into place much more easily, but then you will have to hold the broken pieces together just for a few seconds to allow the super glue to bond. And again, future repairs, you're going to have to ping this off. You might need to work your way around a little bit, and both sides of the super glued break, and that is that. Other than that, the SS5 is exactly the same as the MSN Mark 5 cable's the same. So there we go. That is how to change the mains cable on any of the Mark 5 irons, MS5, standard Mark 5, SS5.